who, 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 who ready? We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Motivational youth only. Mentally feel like Kobe. I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me. I don't care if you pushing 40. You can never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili. From young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats. Circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? We ready, been ready, I waited, my turn, on God, held steady. I keep dropping back to back, I keep going if you let me. I've been sitting at the top, looking down at those who left me. Promise I'm not being petty, I'm the one they envy. Brody moving state to state, make $1 million out the semi. Plus I grinded from the start, I was stacking pennies. I might dip like Machiavelli, after the confetti. Who ready? We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who?
Hello and good evening. How we doing, everybody? It is We Have Fun Tier 1 attempt around Miami this evening, and I hope everybody is well and having a good Sunday. Hope it's been a good one for you, and hope you enjoyed the Grand Prix earlier on today. Piastri with the strategy and pulling it out in the end. Great victory for the McLaren driver. Norris obviously getting P2 as well. So good day for McLaren, as it's been since the start of the season. But yeah, as you can see in the background, you can see the Drivers' Championship. I'm just going to quickly look at the attendance this evening to see who is actually here, as we are having a bit of a mixed grid. I'm meant to be your co-commentator for tonight. I see you've already started the stream without me. If you don't need me, I won't bother joining. I mean, Lime, you're more than welcome to join me, mate. I'll jump into the comms channel. Just bear with me a moment. Just let me get this the attendance sorted, and I'll jump in. And we can definitely do call comms. I completely wasn't aware of it, mate. So yeah, bit of a surprise. But yeah, just 1 second. Let's do the attendance for who's actually racing. So we've got Arrow, Himi, Oven Chips, Kevin Carl, Stellan, Ollie, Kenzie, Vecco, Star, Mallard, Cookie, Cod Things, Michael Louise, and Payox. And then there's some tanks here this evening. We've got Jake B, Gold Crimson, Telemetry F1, Stephen Beecham, Andrew, Pappy to Patron, and TTV Woo Woo. Let's just go to the let's just say woo woo. But let me just quickly jump into We Have Fun's comms channel for the evening. I'll be in driver interviews, mate, if you want to come in there. And yeah, you can definitely jump in and call comms. But yeah, I hope you like the intro. I don't know whether I may get in trouble for that from Arrow, but I thought I'd switch it up a bit. I thought I'd just give it a bit of an update. Hope you liked it. Join the comms channel in the Discord. I have done, mate. I've joined the interview once. So it saves me moving about after the end of the race. But yeah. So yeah, as you can see, the Drivers' Championship, Cookie is leading the way. Been very consistent the first 2 races of the season. So could be a good one to watch this evening and see who comes out on top. But yeah, just caught a bit like, ugh. Did not know I was doing co-coms. But yeah, there's the Drivers' Championship. Let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship. Move over, see what is happening there. And I'm going to have to look at my phone because it's too small on my screen. I've got old eyes. And Red Bull are at the top with 74 points. Kick Sauber are in at P2 with 41. Ferrari are in at P3. Haas P4. Mercedes P5. In at P6 is Alpine. P7, VCarb. In the P8 is Williams. In P9 is McLaren. And then in P10 is the Aston Martin. It is the Miami circuit here this evening. One of my favourites. Do enjoy the circuit. Very free-flowing. If you can hook Sector 1 up, it's so nice leading into Sector 2. You've got the long straight where we'll have a lot of the overtaking happening here this evening, as well as down the start finish. But let's move on to the all-important stuff, the track info here for Miami. And the first Grand Prix was held back in 2022 with the track length being 5.412 kilometres. The lap record is held by Mr. Max Verstappen himself, which was set back in 2023, and that was a 1 minute 29.708. The most pole positions here is a shared one, but I think Max may have the title now. But it's Charles Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Max Verstappen. Most wins is Max Verstappen. I think he's added to that one as well, as I said. Pole run to turn 1 braking point, 170 metres, so got to get a good launch off the start if you want to try and get down the inside of your competitor who is up at the front. Safety car probability around 67%. It is quite a wide circuit. There's a lot of places that you don't want to be going side by side, which is probably the most of the places that aren't overtaking opportunities. There will be some people trying to obviously make that move if they see that gap, but all your overtaking places really have a lot of runoff area, really, to be honest. So it's not as if there is a massive chance of a crash. So, but the safety car probability, like I said, it's over 50%, so 67%. Virtual safety car probability, the same, 67%. The pit stop time loss here at the circuit is 19.9 seconds. That is also including a 2.5 second pit stop. Number of corners here at the circuit this evening, there is 19. You have 2 DRS zones, one running between turns 8 and 10, and then your next one is between turns 19 and 2, turn 1. Yeah, as I said, turn 1, 2, 3, you can get that right. You can really gain some time on the lap, as well as, make up some big moves as you're going on around the circuit. But yeah, how are we doing, everybody? I know it's Sunday, and hope you've had a good weekend. It's the day before work, innit? If you're kid, then obviously you ain't got nothing to worry about in reality, because you've got 6 weeks off and you'll be probably lying in, staying up till late anyway. So yeah, I've still not got Lyman. I don't know whether he's crept in and he's just not saying anything.
I am here.
There he is. How we doing, mate? How you doing?
I'm very good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Looking forward to this one. How you feel about Miami and the circuit itself?
I've never really raced Miami, but obviously as a whole, it's a good track. If you nail it and hook it up, it's quite nice. But obviously, there's certain parts of the track where it's almost like Monaco. The balls come flying at you, and if you just get one thing wrong, it's your front wing or your wheels gone. So there's a lot of concentrations needed, as well as being in the Zen state.
It's like that wall now.
Mentally draining.
Yeah, it's like that wall now that's in between turns 13 and 14. Like, no more running wide or trying to get a better angle into turn 14. It's you've got to be quite tight, and it's very easy to turn in, early in it and potentially lose either that front left end plate or your front left tyre.
Yeah, it's the same with the chicane at Monaco if you come out of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it. Did you say, just to check something, did you say 2 DRS zones?
There isn't, though, am I wrong? There's only one.
No, you're wrong. There's 3.
All right, hang on, but I'm looking at an old fucking map. Then I do apologise. Hang on, yeah, right, yeah, and then one, yeah, right, yeah, I get it, yeah. I've looked at it wrong. Yeah, 3 DRS zones. Sorry, people. One between obviously turn 16 and 17, and then between turns 19 and turn 1. There's Lime correcting me already. Look at that. Go on, Lime. But yeah, do you do much league racing yourself, mate? It's a good time, like for us to kind of get to know one another and get like build that kind of rapport. What do you do?
I don't know if you've obviously kept up with Tier 2, so I am one of the main protagonists within Tier 2 at the moment. I am the only driver to win multiple races at the moment within Tier 2, but I'm not leading the championship. Unfortunately, I'm like 7 points behind a Ferrari. So I got a little bit of galloping to catch up in because my second race of the season wasn't too good because I had some technical gremlins. But besides that, no, I do race in this league. Sometimes I race in Tier 1, but I'm taking a step back from that. 'Cause I'm trying to preserve myself for Tier 2 at the moment. So
Yeah, concentrate on the league that you're doing, division that you're doing well in, and hit it hard, mate. Hopefully, fingers crossed for you, pal, that you can get that championship lead and hopefully take the championship at the end of it. Who have you got your eye on here in Tier 1? I mean, it's kind of hard, isn't it? Would you say with the interchange of drivers, even with the going from like my first comms to this race, there's been quite a wide range of different drivers that I've seen. If I've got that correct, like there's always quite a few reserves.
yeah, it's not all the time we kind of fill the seats up. So there's reserves in always, but there's many people around who, depending on the conditions, can really pull some good things out. Arrow, he's not too far behind the championship. Obviously, Cookie is pulling a massive gap. So Cookie is a bit of like a speed devil, really. But there's people that I've raced with in here, and even my championship rival Stephen Beecham is in here tonight. So it's good to kind of watch other people and watch how they do.
You can get your eye in on him tonight, can't you? You can have a right good look at him. Like, where's he messing up? Where can I take the advantage? Go on, Lime. No, but it's good to I've seen it in a lot of leagues that I cover, like Tier 2 getting involved with Tier 1, like helping the numbers, and even some of the top Tier 2 ones really can mix it with the Tier 1 drivers, can't they?
Yeah, they really can. I'll use my own example. So I was doing time trial, a couple of days ago for Belgium, which was last night in Tier 2, and I was up there, good within the Tier 1 drivers. So you can get up there at some tracks, but sometimes you're not. I had that, but Bahrain, the first one out, which you weren't here for, unfortunately. But,
Yeah,
I tried that, and you have the races where you're good and where you're not. But that's why I normally kind of don't do Tier 1, because I tend to be middle and get frustrated, and there's people around me like contact.
Yeah,
So reserving myself, because if you get penalty points and you get race bans, or you get stuff in Tier 1, and it does the same for you in Tier 2. So the best is to kind of keep your nose clean.
Yeah, definitely. And avoid the pain. Avoid the pain. Definitely, 100%.
I learned that last year. I had a very bad reputation last year for myself, but I've redeemed myself this season, which I'm lucky enough to do. So
That's great. Always great to see that with drivers. I've seen a fair few in my time of comms, doing it for I think it's nearly 3 years now, of drivers that over a couple of races you've just seen utter deterioration in their standards, really not caring and getting a really bad name for themselves, standard wise, and then it's they get hit with something and something just clicks and changes, and that what you used to see is completely disappeared, and there's a massive improvement in a driver, and that's always great to see, especially when you notice it yourself as a commentator, and then they come back and are doing a lot better. So yeah, hopefully you have a really, really good season, Lime. And
looking through, when I go, I normally tend to go through the streams afterwards because I'm really finicky, and I either watch what I do something wrong, or I watch my competitors to see where they're going, or what lines they're taking, and how much battery they're using, just so I can get like a step over them. But
It's learning to go quicker in them areas in it that your competitors are failing in. If you can do that and be good, still be good in the areas that you're good in, at the end of the day, it just creates that consistency, doesn't it, of where you can outscore and outposition your competitors at pretty much all the tracks. It's just that consistency and putting the laps in to get that consistency in practice.
Yeah, I just sent you a clip from tier 2 last night, losing the first lap on the Gemmell Straight, which was one of my moves.
I'll have a look at that very shortly. We're not even got. Oh, we're not in quality yet. Hang on, I'll have a quick look.
No.
Let's have a look. Oh, this doesn't look like it's gonna end well. Oh, that was clean. Tier 2, where you at, man? That was very nice. Very nice start to the lap.
Yeah, I don't know if tier 1's had any safety cars, but tier 2 has not had a single safety car whatsoever this season already.
You know what I notice a lot, mate, right? With doing commentary, yeah. There's a tier 4 that I cover on Thursdays. And like obviously there's tier 2s in the other leagues. The tier 2, see, I don't know what it is with tier 1 drivers, and no disrespect to tier 1 drivers at all. I'd love to have the pace. I'd love to have that like kind of drivability. But some of y'all have got some big egos, man. Like, you can't back out. You can't let somebody past you on that opening lap. You have to hold that line. And whereas tier 2 are a bit like, I know I'm going to get overtaken, so I'll kind of leave that space and try and go for it again. I don't know what it is. It seems to be like the consensus with tier 1 and tier 2, like the lower tiers. The lower tiers, I think, really do strive to do a lot better than what the tier 1s do, because obviously they're the fastest, but if they can be the consistent and the cleanest, they're going to look better than that tier 1, no matter how quick they are.
Yeah.
No matter how quick. It's just brilliant to watch. Like, because tier 4, they're absolutely, well, they're so clean, so respectable to one another on track. Yes, you have your little moments, but they're not as big as what you see on like in other divisions. Do you know what I mean? So let's hope that tier 1 can kind of put on a show here tonight and correct me in my my assumption, or but with what I've seen at least, anyway.
Yeah, even from what I've seen, from what I've been on the track as well, it's chaos because you've got. I've had it before. Genuinely, I've been on some before, and they're just like this was coming into the really sharp left-hander, not Belgium, Jesus Christ, Bahrain. I just went on the inside of someone here. It was like I'm not backing out. I'm staying there. So it was like a thing to who breaks latest, and I just ended up going into a Mercedes. So,
I know that feeling, mate. I know that feeling. I haven't raced for a while though now, me, to be honest. Since I was only racing at one place anyway, and I just quit. And I'm not gonna I won't go into anything. I had my reasons, let's put it that way. And I've just not driven since. It's just really enjoying the comms. I get to sit back and relax. I still use my wheel. I still practice and go on and do some, a bit of the creative part of the game and stuff like that, doing races against AI and stuff. But league racing, it's just, I don't know. I just can't be bothered. But I just rather just sit here, enjoy sitting back, commentating on racing, and hopefully we get a good one. Do you know what I mean? That's all you can hope for.
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing it on and off for like 5 years now,
and
I used to be in so many leagues, and as I've got older, I'm just like, I don't need to be in every single league. I don't need to race in every single league that I'm in. That's why I literally just race in this league. I just don't know the league.
When I first got into the game in 22 and then learned about like obviously league racing and Discord and stuff like that, I was like, oh yeah, I'll race here, I'll race there, I'll race, and it was just like too much to handle. It was like, oh my god, it's another night. I've got to go and do some practice. Got to get home from work, practice, and then make sure so I can race properly. But we'll move over into qualifying as it is now underway. So like the weather can be quite a mixed bag, can't it, at Miami? It's not always blessed with dry weather. So it could be a bit of a difficult one weather-wise. Let's see if we get some rain. Really spice things up here this evening. Have we lost Lime? What's happened to him? But never mind. Countdown, there he is. Countdown is on anyway. We've got 4 seconds to go, and it'll be 18 minutes of laps from the Tier 1 drivers to see who can put it on pole. Any predictions, Lime?
I haven't really watched, but you know, Cookie's really fast, but I'd love to see someone like maybe Star, because obviously you weren't here last season, but Star and unfortunately another driver who wasn't here, or isn't here at the moment, Gordon. You know, they were a very like formidable pair, 1-2 last season in Miami, and they just DRS trained the whole way until the end of the race. So I'd love to see something like that again from some of their drivers, but it is quite difficult to understand who's going to be where, especially at Miami.
Yeah,
it's still a relatively new circuit, so.
Cookie, Arrow is saying it's either Cookie or Star. We got Stell and F1. Good to see you on comms, Taz. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much indeed. But yeah, we're on board with Stephen Beecham, Lime's enemy in frenemy in tier 2. I mean, obviously we mean that in the technical term of his enemy for the championship. Hopefully he can surpass him at some point and we can see a hard battle in tier 2 between themselves. Hang on, you know me under an old name, by the way, Taz. Turbo. Of course I remember Turbo. I remember you, mate. I remember pretty much everybody I meet in some very different names. Hope you're doing well, Turbo. Anyway, it has been a long time. A very, very long time, mate. But this is the corner. Turns 14 and 15. Very, very tricky ones on the circuit. But this could be the place that's going to see most of the battle on the lap, to be honest, I feel, between turns 16 and 17. Hopefully we can get a good DRS train and get some really good side-by-side action going into turn 17, sorry. As we got Kenzie Young, 16 mins, PC, do me proud today. PC, so... Is that somebody driving? Or is he just going on about PC players? Never mind. But most of the drivers out on the track now. Stephen has started his first lap of the evening. Currently making his way through turn 3 onto the rundown to turns 4. Looping it through 5 into 6 and 7 and 8. And this will be the first DRS zone on the lap that is about to go into. DRS will be a bit active a bit further on. Here we go. There's the detection line. That extra boost of power now on the run down to turn 11. With some hard braking into here. Get that car rotated in. Try and carry as much pace as you can through turn 12. Very nicely through that section. Lime's locked in here on Steve's lap. As he's now on the rundown between turns 16 and 17. Next DRS zone. Here he comes. Hard braking into turn 17. Pretty tricky traction zone that. Got to get it right. But it's through turn 19. Here he comes across the line, and it's a 127.116 for the first lap of the evening. As I think we've got a Ferrari of... No, oh, Young Himi's got damage. I think his teammate has just gone across the line there. Arrow. And I think he may be starting a lap. We've had Oven Chips going across the line in the Haas with a 126.860. The Mercedes and Mallard as invalidated as well. Let's have a look at Star. Star's been a name that has been mentioned. Can we see him put it in provisional pole position with this lap? Yeah, no worries, Kenzie. Nicely through that section of corners there in sector 2 or sector 3. And now he's on the rundown to turn 17. Can the Kick Sauber driver get it right? Can he take Chocolate Chip Cookie off the top? Here he comes. Round the final corner. The Kick Sauber driver across the line, and it's a 125.934. What a lap there, Lime.
Yeah, Star's a good driver. Star was really quick here last year, so I do expect, you know, the same from him this time around.
I mean, if Cookie's supposed to be the guy that's challenging him, he's got to find pretty much 0.4 of a second if he wants to get anywhere near Star in this qualifying session. Could be close at the end, but who knows? There could be someone that's absolutely immaculate here at Miami and pip both of them to pole. We'll have to wait and see. As I think Arrow's going for multiple runs there, but Arrow running wide on the exit of turn 6, which really screwed turn 7 up for him, and he'll be backing out of that one. Let's stay on with Young Himi. Yeah, he has.
That's the second one he's invalidated. He's not having a good time.
He's not having fun at all. Himi, I shunted. Oh, lucky Himi. Let's see if you can do better this time round, bro. Ferrari driver currently on an out lap. So, what team do you drive for in Tier 2, Lime?
Aston Martin.
Aston Martin. So,
Yep.
you're going to be are you going to be supporting the Aston Martin team here this evening? There's only one of them, I think, and Andres.
And they're not doing too good in Tier 1. I think they're bottom of
Yeah,
the table.
I think they are.
They're not doing too well, but no, I have got a few friends in Tier 1. So to point out, Michael Louis is one of my, or he is my race engineer for Tier 2.
Oh, nice. So. Well, come on, Michael Louis doing proud. As we see the Ferrari driver currently going through 17, and he'll be getting the power down to start his lap. Let's hope he got a good exit out of that corner and can carry that pace through on the run down to turn 1. And let's hope he doesn't get blocked on the lap as well. Can the Ferrari driver put it into the top 3 here, as Jake B has gone in at P3 with a 126.825. Good lap time. Come on, Imi. As it does well there, just might have ran a tad wide on the exit. But purple sector 1, I think that will be a personal best for the young Ferrari driver here. Kevin Cal used to be quick, if I remember correctly. He used to have some decent pace about him. I'm sure he was in 23. He was, yeah, some decent pace.
He was, so Kevin Cow, he was last season's Tier 2 champion.
I knew he had some decent pace.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Kevin this game. It seems to have dropped off, but obviously because obviously the handling was upgraded on this game. So some people really click to it, and some people just don't. Obviously I can't remember if Kevin's on wheel or pad, but some people click, some people don't click.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Young Himmy. One sec, mate. Young Himmy putting it in P6. Do you believe in the theory that pad's quicker in the wet compared to wheel, and that wheel is quicker in the dry compared to pad?
you know what? I've never heard that.
Never
I've
heard
never
it. I
heard,
mean, that's
I've never heard that theory.
I mean, you see it visibly on track because in most of the leagues that I cover, I know all the drivers. I know what they're doing, like wheel wise, pad wise, and I've seen really quick drivers on wheel be put to shame by a controller driver in the wet conditions, and I've seen it like in where it's the opposite way around. I think there is that grip advantage for the pad players in the wet, but whereas in the dry, it's all with the wheel drivers.
But have you seen it in this game though? Because obviously
Yeah,
there's in this, have you? Because in
yeah.
this game, a pad's meant to be like 6/10 a lap slower than wheel.
That's probably in the dry. In the wet, it's a whole different story. I don't know.
I must
Go on.
go on. Well, I must admit, in the wet on the wheel, it is difficult. But I don't know. I haven't driven on pad for years, so I wouldn't be able to tell you really.
Honestly, I don't know if I've got any streams of wet races on. I think there is on my channel. If you ever want to have a quick look, or if you ever bored the commentator channel on Twitch, I'm sure there's a race on there, and you can really see the difference even in the first couple of weeks of this game. You could every wet race, and it could, because on this game for me there has been a massive like change in the weather, which is noticeable. Whereas, like, because in my comms on 25, there's been a massive mixture of weather. It's not always been a dry race. You've probably got wet halfway through, or the rain will affect it in some sort of way.
Yeah.
As we're 24, I bet you could guarantee that at least, I would say about 85% to 80 to 85% of the races on 24 were probably dry, like league races that you would watch and stuff like that. They were probably dry weather. Whereas on 25, there is this real big mixture of conditions.
Yeah, I think now that you've mentioned that, I do remember seeing something somewhere of weather updates. Because that affected my race last night. Literally, like the last lap in, it just started raining, and I was like, oh,
Ooh,
lovely.
Arrow! Damn! He just nearly lost that then. That was nearly Arrow's quali session over. He's really trying to push the car here this evening, but he's just overly pushing that car. I don't know whether panic's kind of setting an Arrow here, that he might have to start from the back, because he really does look like he's struggling with the circuit. He just can't seem to get that fine, get on that fine line, or even just be like maybe on the little bit more cautious side of it. He just wants to get that lap put together, and it's really costing him on some of the exits at corners.
Yeah, I don't know why he's struggling. Arrow was really quick here last season as well. The champion from the reigning champion, but his form has dropped off a little bit this game.
He's a pad player as well.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's. I mean, because they had it massively on. If you could learn how to flick on controller, you had an advantage against even wheel drivers on 24, because that flick it slowed the car down as well for you in the corners. It pretty much did everything you needed it to do and more to help you win races. And I mean, it was a good thing to watch, because I think it kind of balanced itself out with the drivers, with the controller players being able to use that little flick, and the drivers, it's so clean in it with a wheel. As long as you get that turning right, it's so just consistent. As where some drivers, they're like, on pad, it's knocking it round the corner. Do you know what I mean? So I think it kind of leveled out.
I used to use the wheel flick in some tracks, especially at like the Ascari chicane at like Monza. You used to flip it in, and it would just stick.
Mhm.
But on this game, you do that, and you're just late in the gravel. So it's a whole new learning curve. But I'm lucky that this game's a lot similar to games that I used to really get on with, like F1 2021 and 23. So yeah, I used to get on with those games really well. So I'm glad that they're like bringing that back, and it's quite good to see it back.
Yeah, get that old feel. It feels like you're playing an old game on a new one, especially with sort of some parts of the driving. But here comes Chocolate Chip. He is into the final few corners. Has he been able to improve? And it's a 25.321 from Chocolate Chip Cookie, and he robs Star blind there of provisional pole, absolutely smashing Star's attempt at pole position there with a 125.934, nearly 0.6 of a second, bro. Lime, that is outrageous.
Sounds about right for Star, to be honest with you. You know, just pulls it out of the bag of some random stage or just
No,
surprise you.
Cookie's done it. Cookie's beat Star.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm having a moment.
It's like me with the DRS zones, mate. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about
Honestly, this is I genuinely think this is the first race that I've done comms with on F1 25. So yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been consistent for me going from, I think it was like 22 to 23 pretty much, 6 days a week, doing as much as I can really, you know. And just, yeah, I've had some like times off, had races off when I feel like I've, you know, done a bit much. I mean, I might take a week off and, you know, just ignore the comms for a week and chill out. But apart from that, done. I wouldn't even like to know how many hours I'd put in for comms.
I mean, these days Xbox had an update where when you click on the game, like PlayStation, it tells you how many hours. Oh, that Cookie thinks that's it. He's done. Cookie doesn't think anyone can go faster than him.
I mean, that's a bold call from Cookie. Ego retirement there. That is one big ego from Cookie to retire there and maybe not try and challenge Star. But I mean, with 0.6, you've got. I think even me and you would be thinking, you know what? Nobody's beating that. I would. If I was 0.6 clear of the rest of the grid, I would definitely be thinking, yeah, they're done.
I mean, yeah, it almost happened to me last night. I was like 0.4 up, and I would have been like 0.3 off of or up on pole from me to second. But no, someone else pipped us by like 0.2 of a second. So it does happen.
No, I mean, it can happen, can't it? Like where you think, yeah, nobody's touching that time, and then somebody comes in like 1/10 quicker, 2/10 quicker, and you're like,
yeah,
it's P2. Like, what's the worst, really? Because I mean, like, even if he does, I mean, maybe Jake B can get, you know, somewhat sort of close. Oven Chips is like a whole 1.3 seconds off, so there's only really 2 drivers that could potentially actually challenge him here for pole.
Yeah, this is honestly giving me reminders of Tier 2. You know, at the moment it literally seems to me to be like the top 4. So like me, Zampa, Steven, and Ty Clear are just like a million miles ahead of everyone else.
Where you've just got like 3 drivers that are up at the front, and then you've got another scrap going on at the back. Yeah. But we've got Ledgeman saying, who's on comms? Well, I'm the commentator, formerly known as Taz as well, and I am joined by F1 Lime in the chat, in the comms. So yeah, we're trying to rock it. We are trying to rock the comms this evening, and hopefully you enjoy it. But it is Miami, and this will be the final run for Star. Can he knock Chocolate Chip Cookie off the top? He's got to find 0.6 of a second if he wants even the smallest of shots at it. But he's got a lot of traffic in front of him. If he's quicker than any of these drivers in front of him, it could hurt him into turn 17. But round turn 16 he goes. Could it be a nice tidy? He's got the 0.6. Oh my God. This could be close from Star. So he's got 0.6 bang on. Oh, just needs a little bit, and he could find it in these final few corners. Has Star done enough on the lap? The kick Sauber driver making his run down to turn 19. Here he comes through the final corner, and it's across the line, and he does. Star takes pole position for the race, and what a lap by the kick Sauber driver. I tell you what, I didn't think it were possible, but Star, you've just absolutely proven me wrong massively. Even though the best time is saying completely different to what it's saying actually on the screen. If you look to the right, it says a 25.226, but on the left, it says a 25.225. So, EA, sort your game out once again. But that's some lap, that, innit? Lime.
Yeah, I mean, me from myself as well, you know, who's also fighting for a championship in the lower div, the composure you have to set a lap like that, and then or set a lap, be P2 and you want the pole, the composure you have to not bin it or have anything go wrong is immense.
Yep.
And to make a lap that goes 7/10 quicker is amazing, and a 10th off your rival, and then another, what's that, 5-6 tenths off the guy in third is crazy.
It's absolutely massive, and I mean massive GG to Star. Absolutely cracking lap from the kick Sauber driver. Personally, I didn't think it was possible. I thought Cookie had absolutely smashed it, but Star coming across the line to prove the commentator wrong there and absolutely smashing it on the lap. So there we have it. P1 is Star, Chocolate Chip Cookie. P2, Jake's in at P3. Young Himmy. Well done, Young Himmy. P4 for the Ferrari driver. Well played, lad. As we got Kings in at P5. Oven Chips is 6. Is that Stellan in at 7? Ollie's in at 8. Steve, P9. Keep an eye on him, Lime. Arrow's in at 10. Michael's in at 11. 12 is Echo. In at 13, we've got Crimson. In at 14, it's Kenzie Young. And I couldn't get through them all, but there we go. And it was a mega lap. Very, very good lap there from Star. So here we go now into the race.
So Arrow then managed to somewhat get a lap in, but only one. So he's got to kind of do it all in the race if he wants to get something from this race.
He'd shown some good pace last time, as we've got a follow in the chat, and it is from Love Leclerc. Thank you for joining the channel and following along. If you would like to take part here, brother, I don't know if you can do it with the Discord thing in the chat. If you do League Race,
that does work.
Star, my goal. Proud of you from his esports team owner. Oh, nice. So Star in an esports team, and his esports team owner is in the chat. How are we doing, sir? How is your team doing in esports? Hope it's going well for you and your team. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a close this between Star and Cookie. I think we could end up with what looks like pretty much a 2-horse race for that win.
100%. It's very, very similar to my race last night. Literally, it's going to be whoever comes out of the first couple of corners in first is going to control this race. Very much like what I had last night. I got into first, and it was just a 2-horse race. You know, we were gaffing the cars behind, and it was just a 2-horse race, and then it turned into a 1-horse race by the pit stops. So a pit stop could change this race depending on who bites the bullet first.
Yeah, definitely. As Love Leclerc saying, got us points in our tourney. Massive, massive GGs to start, and hopefully he can put on a performance here this evening that shows how good he is. And I mean, if you were Cookie, would you be slightly gutted that, you know, someone actually beat the time you thought was kind of invincible? I'm not saying he thought it was invincible, but something has got to have gone in his head to say, all right, retire. I don't think anybody's going to get near me.
Would I be gutted if so obviously coming from the position that I'm in as well, no, because you know that in the race you still got a long way to go and anything can happen.
I get that, but
It's the same as me.
every place back from P1 is a potential hazard. As long as you can get a good start in P1, you don't really have to worry about anybody going into turn one. It's the rest of the pack that have got to worry about it, innit? And I think
Yeah,
that's the thing of having that P1 sometimes. It's that knowledge that if you know you get a good start and you're in front of the car who's, you know, by the side of you, you haven't really got much to worry about apart from P3 maybe missing the breaking point. But
yeah.
that's something that I've always
Obviously,
felt in races when I've started P1 is that
yeah.
I didn't really have anything to worry about. Whereas you like, if you the further you come back, I think that more that worry gets, and especially in the middle pack.
Yeah, yeah, but obviously with a track like Miami, oh, I'll let you take over.
But here we go. It's 5 red lights here at We Have Fun's Tier 1 race around Miami, and they are underway. Star gets a great launch off the line there, and so does Cookie under no pressure from any of the drivers. Is ghosting in turn 1 on? It does seem that way.
I don't know.
Because it seems like all the cars just ghost into turn 1. I'm not saying it's just here either. I've seen it at other leagues where it just seems like all the cars ghost into turn 1.
Sorry.
Oh, and the Mercedes driver of Ollie tries to take a bold move on Steven. And Steven dropped to the back. We've had more contact, more positions lost up at the front. T down here at the back in the Alpine. Big collision for him. And not even, I mean, it's front wing damage, but he's got a lot to do. When you see situations like that with a driver so far back, it's an instant thought in the head is, I'm going into the pits and I'm retiring. Do you think we'll see that? I mean, it'd be nice to see someone try and stick it out. But with 4.5 seconds already the gap, could be a big ask.
Yeah, I mean, as well, speaking about damage, Kenzie Young has damage, and so is Aston Martin.
Oh no, the Aston Martin driver. So there's 2 of them here now. Kenzie was the other one, and yeah, unlucky Aston Martin. But they're the tyres. There's only 2 drivers on the hard, and it is T and Andreas 91. So there are the tyres, and Star and Cookie have had an absolutely stellar start here.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
Obviously, just looking through the field, I don't think that it was the Mercedes of Ollie who got caught up in that lap 1 incident there. I think it was actually Mallard.
Oh, you think it was
And
F1
Steven
Mallard?
Yeah.
Oh, right. It might have been because they were just so close to teams there, and it just because Ollie started dropping positions as well. By the way, I'm not a man, Taz, but love the commentating so far. Oh, sorry, darling. I will get it right. I do apologise. Please accept my sincere apology. I don't. It's just with F1. Most of the people I talk to are male, so it's like, you alright, mate? How you doing, lad? So I do apologise, darling, and I hope you do stick around to enjoy the rest of the race. But yeah, gaps are forming, and as we said, me and Lime pointed out in the beginning, 2-horse race up at the front, Star and Cookie looking to battle this one out till the end. We've got a McLaren in the background of Kings trying to make the move on the Alpine, and he got it done, made it stick, and it's up to P4, and now trying to chase down the Ferrari. A bit further back, Crimson in P12, just missing the DRS there on the lap, as well as F1 Mallard. They're both missing the DRS, and now Mallard's got Kevin Cal on the back of him. He's bringing Codzilla along as well. Williams in a really good position, like team-wise at the minute. Would you say P7 and 9? Good, good position for the pair.
Yeah, I mean, knowing Michael, yeah, he is pretty good at managing tyre wear. So yeah, but obviously just talking about between those 2 Williams, Amro has a front left end plate missing.
Damn, I'm just looking at miss Leclerc. I'm supporting both my drivers who's in 2 teams in your league. Damn. Hey, but you must have a good team then. If you've got some of these guys in here racing for you. But I think the McLaren of Echo just making contact with the wall there on the exit of turn 16. As he's just managed to get the DRS there on the run down to turn 17. There's battles going on. We're on board with Ollie. And he's down the inside on Michael. And does he get the move done? He does. Ollie up into P9. I tell you what, Arrow's having a good little battle here. He's round the outside of Jake. Jake has had a poor start here. Didn't he start P3? The Alpine driver. There's a bit of a moment in the background. Jake is dropping further and further back. And he's retired from the session. Oh, he may be getting in trouble for that one with a retirement on track. And that's, as I've said before, that is very much frowned upon in most leagues, and most leagues that I cover, that will come with a quali ban. So here we go. Star keeps the position. Cookie just staying with him, seems at this point. They're trading up at the front though, trading positions.
Yeah,
which we'll see till the end.
That's all they've got to do, really. Just you know, swap position, manage their tyre wear, and strike first, really. You know, someone's got to strike first and take the lead and sort of manage the race. But if Cookie stays behind Star for too long, then his tyres are just going to be cooked come by the pit stops, which none of them really want. So
yeah, 100%. But we have had an issue. While Lime was talking there, the Williams driver of Stellan dropping all the way back to P17 after a spin in Sector 3. And dropping all the way back to P17. I think Kenzie has been into the pits and swapped for a new wing. Let's just check on board with the Aston Martin driver. Which, yes, he has indeed. Fresh wing on the Aston Martin as we get Stellan into the pits as well. In the Williams. So let's have a look here. I mean, Himi has had one hell of a start in the Ferrari. I think he started P4, didn't he? P3, he's gained a position. And he's managing to gap P4. He's got 2-second gap. But this is where, if you're smart, which I'm not saying these guys aren't, but if you're smart, even if the guy is not on your team behind you, you need to work together, don't you? If you want to fight for a podium now, Oven Chips and Kings need to act like they're the best team in the world, swap under DRS, close up to the back of Himi, and try and put him under pressure.
Yeah, that is what they need to do. As Cookie now going for the swap on Star.
Yeah, they have swapped up at the front, but Oven Chips just needs to have that bit. He needs that good exit. He needs to be getting better exits out of these corners to try and close up to the back of Young Himi. But so far, the Ferrari driver of Young Himi really putting pedal to the metal, just trying to extend that gap. 2.7 seconds he's got it up to now, and Young Himi is just, he's not looking back. He's looking to just pull away here. I think Young Himi may be straight line speed based. He seems to lose a little bit of time in the corners ever so slightly. And then you'll see him jump up to like 3 seconds on the straight. So I wonder if he's just running that little bit lower wings than the McLaren and the Haas driver here.
When you look at Miami, it's basically straight. You know, there's a few corners, a few higher downforce corners. But when you get on those straights, if you have, that higher downforce, then, you know, you're just going to accelerate away. As we say, accelerating away, Cookie has broken the DRS to Star. So he has taken it upon himself just to lead this race without Star behind him.
That just puts pressure on the Kick Sauber driver now to use his ERS to try and close up to the back of the Red Bull driver, as we are currently on board with P11 Echo in the McLaren. He is trying to catch Crimson, but he brings with him Codzilla, the other Kick Sauber driver. Can he have a look at the McLaren driver as they make the way down to turn 17 in the DRS zone? Codzilla does have the DRS, but it just doesn't look like he's going to get close enough to that McLaren. Nah, he doesn't. Just has to settle in behind. And again, it's all about like trying to have that team emphasis with every driver you come across in it. Trying, if there's a gap to that person that's in front of you, you need to work together.
Yeah, that's why it's, especially when I do it, it's always better when you have a good relationship with everyone in the league, or everyone in your division, because then if you have that, they will naturally not want to fight you. They'll naturally want to. They realise that they work together, they can get this result, then they'll work together, and then once they've got that position and they're both up there, then they'll have a fight for it to see who rightfully deserves it. But to get there, you've got to work together and have a good relationship with everyone in your division, which helps, because if you don't have that, then everyone's just going to fight all the time, and it's not really what you want.
Nah, definitely 100% agree, mate. But Chocolate Chip Cookie has really stamped his foot on that accelerator, because the gap is now 2.3 seconds. And I don't know whether Star's starting to struggle already. Maybe with the tyres, I'm not 100%, but maybe making some small mistakes on the lap that are costing him heavily on lap time here. The Kick Sauber driver. It just seems like Chocolate Chip, he's got him in his back pocket in these opening 8 laps. He's just burnt away from him. Sorry, Miss Leclerc, for kind of slamming your driver, but he's being dropped like a sack of potatoes here.
Yeah, I mean,
it's okay. Good. But go on, Lime lad. What were you going to say?
Star could be hoping for maybe a safety car. So he might just be taking it cautiously and not burning out his tyres as much. Hoping for maybe a safety car to go a little bit longer on his compound. You never know. But it does look like Cookie has, pipped him by a long shot. So we will see how it plays out. But still quite a while to go, 20 laps, 21 laps almost. So still quite a long way to go.
So Miss Leclerc in the chat saying that Star's actually doing well. So Chocolate Chip Cookie's doing it even better then. Like, no disrespect to him. Obviously, Star is putting in some quality laps here. Like I said, I'd love to have the kid's pace. If he could bottle it and sell it, I'd definitely take a bottle. But Chocolate Chip Cookie, I mean, if he put his bottle in front of me at the minute, I'd be taking his. But Star has actually pitted. So's Young Himmy. And Chocolate Chip Cookie stays out. Ooh! Cookie nearly losing the back end there through turn 3. That was a very sketchy moment for the Red Bull driver. I bet he was going 50p, 20p there as he made his way through turn 3. So now he's got to put this lap together, and do you think they can undercut him? 4 seconds? 4.3 seconds the gap was. Do you think they can get the undercut on him?
If they do, it's just like by a couple of tenths, just. But realistically, I would have thought Cookie may have, pipped him before and just covered it. But unless that's what he overtook him for, to maybe cover from that undercut. But yeah, I wouldn't really expect them to undercut Cookie like that.
Right, so Star's pretty much in free air. So he's just probably getting this lap in as quick as he humanly possibly can. No mistakes from him so far. Nicely through the lap goes the Kick Sauber driver. As now he's on the run down to turn 17. And Cookie stays out.
Yeah. So Cookie thinks he's got a lot more pace than the guys who had just pitted. So probably just trying to stretch that gap. Obviously, Star is in somewhat traffic. So he's just hoping that he can stretch his legs a little bit longer and just keep that undercut away.
I tell you what, Miss Leclerc, absolutely great ethos on your drivers. 100% agree. Absolutely 100% agree. She says, Lime, yeah, I don't push my drivers to do over their limits. That would lose their confidence, which is why I don't try and make them go crazy and hungry for winning. As long as he gets points and genuine a good position, it's all the improvements is what I look for. And that's a great way to think as a team principal in it, or a
Great way to
esports team
think, you know.
leader.
That is a great way to think. You know, I've been thinking recently of getting myself into one of those teams because I've got some stellar pace on me at the moment. But I don't really
Miss
want to go
Leclerc,
into, like,
love no for Miss Leclerc. He's here. He is him.
yeah.
Get in touch with Lime.
I don't really want to join something like SKG or AMS or something. But yeah, I do like Stars are stellar bloke. So
You learn a lot, don't you? Especially when you move into esports teams. I've not personally been there, but I know people who I'm still looking for drivers. Wait, is F1 Lime on Discord?
yeah.
Oh, she's in the Discord, mate. Happy days.
Oh, hang on, ping me.
Miss Leclerc, love it. Lime's on it now.
Give me a ping. Give me a ping. Where is it? Someone ping me.
Right, so Star is currently just under 17 seconds behind Chocolate Chip Cookie. He's really trying to extend here. Do you think maybe could Star be on a 2-stop, whereas Cookie's trying to think 1-stop mentality? Way.
Yes. So if I was Cookie, well, it's the same as what happened last night with me. You know, think one-stop mentality. Because you have to have the confidence to take your tires to the end, especially with what I had, exactly what like I had last night. But I pitted earlier, like a lot earlier, just to try and cover from an undercut behind. I struggled in the latter stages. Because my tires ended up being on 80%, genuinely 80%. But you've got to have the confidence to manage your tires and know how long your tires are going to go.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
As you said at the beginning of this thing,
Steve's gone round again. Steve's round again.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That helps.
His tyres look absolutely ruined as well. Look at the blisters on them
I don't know
tyres.
why he's done that. But as you said at the beginning of this, the pit stop time is about 19 seconds. Star is 14.4 behind Cookie. I don't know why Cookie hasn't pitted yet.
I know.
Unless, actually, no, that's giving me an idea. Unless he's going along to have fresher tyres to take Star. He might want the fresher tyres come to battle with Star.
I think Star may be going for the 2-stop, whereas Cookie's thinking 1-stop mentality.
Yeah, but at the same time, everyone else has pitted, I believe, mostly. It should tell me somewhere.
So people in chat, we've got
everyone's
Stellan. Sorry, mate. We've got Stellan F1 saying, I love this game, not unlucky, mate. And then we got Summers. Hey, Summers, how's it going? That is a pen for King. What has King done? King's apparently got a pen. I think that was between him and Stephen. I think that's what Summers is referring to there. That is the pen. Yeah. I think it is. It's got to be.
What was Summers referring to? Oh, Cookie's come in. Right, Cookie's come in. So watch this. So Star coming around the final corner now.
He's definitely taking them hards till the end.
Gotten that. So what compound has Cookie gone onto?
Cookie's on the hards. He's going to the end on them hards. I think Star's going to have to pit. Yeah, Star's going to have to pit.
But what lap did Star pit? Hang on.
I can't remember, but Star's pitted early.
4 laps ago. So lap. Let me think of this. Lap Lap 9. Okay. Oh yeah. So he's not gonna aim. It's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be
gonna
close.
really, really, really close, because Spa yesterday was 22 laps, and I pitted lap 6 and took those to the end, and it was hard. I'll give you really hard.
Mm-hmm.
So if Star can manage that gap to Cookie, then that's very good.
Yeah.
but
I
if he
think
can't,
Cookie's had the better outlap. Cookie's had DRS on the back of Young
Well,
Himmy. I think
well,
he's had a well
they-
better outlap.
yeah, the thing is, Hitme could have helped. That's the thing what you're saying with people helping people. If Hitme hindered Cookie a bit, he wouldn't have got pen for it, because they're fighting for a genuine position.
Mm-hmm.
If he held him up a bit, that he could have helped Star, and yet again he could have then given the place to Cookie, and still secured his P3, because he's 10 seconds ahead of the next car.
He's cutting
So, I
time
don't
into
know.
Star already, though. He's real, and he's
Yeah,
dropping
yeah.
Young Himmy. Young Himmy now. He's dropping Young Himmy like a bad habit. He's just pulling away from him through turn 3 and 4. On the way to turn 4, sorry. And he's just building, and you can see him. He's just finding that time to Star. And if Star is planning that one-stop strategy with the hard compounder tyres, I think Chocolate Chip, with the pace that he had on the mediums, you can't really question him overtaking Star to take back the lead of the race. I think unless Star's got the defense of, I don't know, who's really to mention, but this great defense where he can keep a guy who's on 4 lap pressure tires than him. That is such a big difference in it. We might be saying 4 laps, and 4 doesn't sound a big number, but when it comes to the tires in this game, it's massive, in it.
Yeah, and especially in this game, because Dirty Air is so, strong,
Mm-hmm.
that anything can happen. But he is cutting massively into Star now.
We've even got Sci-Fi Mega Hype saying Star is in trouble, and I think, we can agree. I don't know what Miss Leclerc thinks. I mean, how are you feeling about your driver at the minute? Do you feel that they've made the wrong call here, or do you agree with the call? Would you have changed it? Would you have told him to stay out maybe a bit longer? We'll wait for.
It's a really hard call, because you never know with a Grand Prix what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously we know there's going to be potential chances for safety cars, virtual safety cars.
But you never know.
Little slip up.
You never know when it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's unknown. Even I'll use an example. I keep using examples from yesterday, but they are good examples. I was managing a gap to the guy to a guy behind me, and then he locked his rears and spun out the first corner. You never know what's going to happen to you, or what's going to happen to the guys behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep a positive mentality, that you keep going, you keep fighting on. Even if you're struggling, you just have to keep going.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Miss Leclerc saying, but personally, she would have told him to stay out, but it's his choice, and she hasn't really engineered him properly yet. Well, hopefully you get that chance, because I think, he's took a risk, and knowing that he's that far behind on the first stint, he's thought, I'll try and go really, really early and take the tyres to the end. But Chocolate Chip Cookies, I think he would have been better playing his chances if he would have pitted the same lap as Cookie instead of thingy. But then Cookie could have built a massive, an even bigger gap, because Star really did look like they were struggling before they went into the pits.
Yeah, so it honestly. So Cookie may have stayed out because he knew that he would have the pace to catch Star. but at the same time, Star obviously wants to win. He wants to undercut him. But you never really know what or where is gonna happen. So he's mainly just keeping hopes up for a safety car or something to get on like a fresher set of tyres, probably.
Yeah, definitely a chocolate chip cookie just moseying on up like it's a stroll in the park to the back of Star. Star will be seeing that time coming down and panic may be setting in. There is still, I think, Star's definitely got to be looking at potentially going at like a 2-stop here. Because there's a lot of free air for Star to get into and maybe if, you know, pitting onto another set of mediums and potentially risking it, because I really don't see Star's Hards making it to the end. I mean, they could, but he's going to be all over the place. So, Arrow, I think Ollie's just dived into the pits. He has. Ollie, the Mercedes driver, diving into the pits. That's got to be his second stop of the race. As he now moves on to the hard compounded tyres. So, Ollie going medium hards here in this race. And now Chocolate Chip Cookie is right on the rear of the Kick Sauber driver. Can Star stay composed? Would you risk defending at this point, Lime, knowing that Cookie's just going to be that much more quicker?
Would I? Yes and no. So obviously, I tried to give him a fight, but at the same time, if he's too fast and he's probably before a corner, then there's nothing I can do. But there's a classic thing with me. If I am being challenged behind, I do the Max Verstappen thing. So literally just before the braking, so I'm moving to the inside line, or hug the inside line. But,
There's contact between the pair as they make their way down to turn 1. Who's going to come out on top here? And Cookie is just able to brake that much later than the Kick Sauber driver. And he slides on through into P1. An easy move for the Red Bull driver. As them fresher tyres really did pay off. And look at the gap he's already got to Star. 1.2 seconds. It shows that the Red Bull driver has all the pace here this evening. Is he going to make the strategy work with being on the hards? I do think he's got the best shot at pulling off a potential one-shot here. Like a one-stop.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's still got 11 laps to go. But if he can build a gap to Star or just manage the tyres, then, you know, he's got it.
Yeah, definitely. We're on board with Kings. He's got Oven Chips in behind him. Oven Chips within DRS range. Can Oven Chips go for the move? If you're close to a driver, just a quick one, I mean, because I'll tell you what I would do in this kind of sort of situation. You've got 2 DRS zones not that far away from each other.
Yep.
When are you going for it? Well, 3 really that are you trying to get the move done into turn 1, or are you doing it in the second, the second DRS zone, or are you trying it in the first? When if they're that close like they are at Miami here now, when are you trying to go for that position?
This DRS zone here, because the setups that I run are always so quick with ERS that they can hold off DRS.
Here comes the Haas driver, just wants... Oh, he was having... I thought he was going to go for it then. Go back for it, Lime. Sorry, I do apologise, mate.
Yeah, so it obviously... I would go for it down that back straight, but I'd be cheeky with it, and I'd get alongside in the corner, and sort of just stay side by side coming through those S's, and get a double dose of DRS if I could, just to sort of seal it off.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was much faster, I would get in front of them before. So.
Yeah, it's kind of... you've got to look at it at the time, haven't you? Whether, you're on fresher tyres, you maybe might be on older tyres. You've got to kind of assess the situation, haven't you? Especially going into it. But, I mean, if I'm in a race, like, now with, like, the McLaren and the Haas driver, Oven Chips just doesn't really seem to have the pace to go for it. But I think I'd be like you. Well, no, actually, I wouldn't. I would try and stay behind, even into turn 17. try and get that good exit and try and get them into turn one. Try and run them just that tiny bit wider, you know, on the exit of turn one, so that like their exit's compromised. Because I think even with the inside line into turn one, you can still get a decent run out of turn one. I think there's a couple of angles that you can come at turn one at. I don't think it's just one specific line into there where you can be good. I think there's multiple lines into turn one. So I think that'd be kind of me. Even if I was on like old tyres, I'd still be trying to go for it into turn one, and then hopefully I can stay and try and build a gap through the, you know, the tricky part, like the tricky corners. I'd probably be a tad different. But it's kind of, it really is spreading out here. We've got quite a big battle going on. 4P9. Oh, was the kick? Sauber of Godzilla goes straight on at turn 17. Has to whip the car around there as he sees Kevin Cowell go flying through. Godzilla with it all to do. We've got Mallard, we've got Woo Woo, and we've got Arrow all in the pits. This is just looking like it's set up for a potential two-stop. But I think the only person in the top three that could potentially go for that two-stop strategy at the minute is Star.
Yeah. Yeah, just looking around, people are stopping, doing two stops, but it does seem to be a two-stop of this race.
I've seen it done in a one-stop. I have seen it done in a one-stop.
Yeah.
It's just you've got to be you've got to nurse the tyres, which I think Chocolate Chip has done really well with so far, especially if Star thought they were in trouble 4 laps earlier.
Oh.
Compared.
Because Star's got a 10-second penalty now.
Star speeding in the pit lane. Oh no, that might be Himmy with being gifted a P2 there.
Yeah.
Star's got to put pedal to the metal now and really just pull away from young Himmy. They have a 6-second gap, but if you're young Himmy now, you really are like, I need to use every bit of these tyres until the end. I need to absolutely abuse them. Try and stay within that 10-second gap. I can get P2 here. I don't want to push too much because I'm still in with a podium. But if I can get under that 10-second gap, you know, nice P2. But it does look like young Himmy is struggling with the pace of Star on fresh tyres as Godzilla does retire in the pit lane. And that's down to 15 drivers. We're on lap 21 here.
Right. So another thing that I've just seen, also looking at tyre wear and tyre deltas. So I do believe that Cookie is not the only person to possibly be able to go for a one-stop.
Who's that other person? Is it young Himmy? Oh no, young Himmy pitted.
Michael.
Ah, Michael in P4.
He's only his tyres are only 2 laps older than Cookie's, and I mean Michael, he can nurse his tyres really, really well.
So he could potentially make it well. That's what the Williams driver can do. Currently sat in P4. He's got Kings and Oven Chips 6 seconds behind him. Can the Williams driver hold on to this P4? Like Lime says, he's a bit of a tyre whisperer, so let's hope that he can whisper these tyres right till lap 29. You know what as well I've seen a lot of in F125? Punctures.
Yes.
A lot of punches where you, even with drivers, like there's a guy called Barmy Tick. He used to be so good with the tyres, so good. He's still decently paced, but I've never seen him like having to go off the strategy, you know, tyre wise or anything like that. And we've seen him the other night pick up a puncture, and it was just such a shock when you see a talented driver, where you know that they genuinely do well, pick up like a puncture. It was madness.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously see it here. The drivers just briefly clip a wall, and that can give you a puncture. Generally, the game is sensitive. Oh wait, Cookie's in.
Cookie's in. So it is a two-stop. 110, the two-stop race there, and Cookie will come out on the mediums. Let's have a look where Star comes out. Not that it's going to matter anymore. Star does have that hefty 10-second time penalty. But Star will come out in front of Cookie.
Yeah, and he's gone faster though at the moment. But oh no, he won't. He won't.
Oh no, Cookie gets out in front. What? That was absolutely timed. He just absolutely blitzed it there. Well done, the Red Bull driver of Cookie. Timing it perfectly with the pit stop. Had enough of a gap to get back out in front of the Kick Sauber driver. And that's going to be so... I mean, you're in that position, it's kind of like, I'm not getting P1. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, knowing Star, he'll be gutted about that one, unfortunately. You know, but at the same time, we all make mistakes. And you've got to just look at the mistake in the mirror and just say, whoa, that was I should have done that differently.
Yeah, I should have done better. But I tell you what, one of the Aston Martin drivers, Kenzie Young, in P8, and he is battling with Arrow and Ollie for that. The fight for P7. So, I mean, he could get a decent result here. The Aston Martin driver, you know, P7 now to be. He's going to get it anyway on track, innit? I mean, Arrow's got the 3-second time penalty. Ollie's got a 3-second time penalty. He doesn't really have to push. But we all know as players of this game that you might have a penalty, but you still want that position on track. But once the flag's down, like the time's added on in it, but you want that position on track no matter what.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do. But oh. Sorry, it was Michael Louis there, just locked up his front. Just got a little bit squirrely as he is now losing time to the cars behind. So
Yeah,
he might not be able to take that P4, unfortunately.
He looks like he is trying to go for the one stop. Because
Yeah,
I mean,
he will, but he'll regret that. Knowing Michael, he will regret that. But you know, we sometimes we all just try things differently just as a gamble, and they don't pay off. You know.
We got Lucci's in the chat. Sorry, Thingy saying actually that Kenzie came from last with damage to get into this position that he's in, and that's one hell of a drive from Kenzie Young so far. That's respect. Put some respect on that man's name. I mean, that's absolutely a cracking drive from the Aston Martin driver, and hopefully he does well.
I had that a couple of weeks ago. Literally, the first lap I had technical issues, and I was down.
Someone's just hit the wall.
Oh. I was down for about 5 laps in last, and I came back to about P10.
That's a good drive, that, mate. That's a brilliant drive. Someone just did make contact. I don't know who it was. Never mind. Go on. Sorry, Lime. Keep fucking interrupting.
No, you go.
No, yeah, someone did make contact with the wall. Don't see any visible damage, so it looks like they avoided it. But yeah, I mean, Michael, 4 laps to go. Arrow could potentially be in the fight for P6. I mean, Kenzie will be in the fight for it, really. Obviously, Arrow having that time penalty, but it's just not working out for the Williams driver here. He knows he's going to be getting past. He knows he's going to be having cars trying to close down to the back of him. And there's not really much of a battle on track. It's just Arrow and Kenzie as Ollie has dropped out of DRS range to the pair. We've got Woo Woo and Crimson. They're close at the back, as well as Echo and Kevin Carl.
So I'd like to come out on the front at the moment. So obviously we know Star's got a 10-second time penalty, but Himi is actually managing that gap at 8.6 at the moment. So he is on for a P2 as it stands.
Come on, Himi, you can do it, lad. The Ferrari driver, hopefully he can get the laps together here and he can stall Star's progress and keep Star under pressure, knowing that just a one minor slip up can put young Himi in the danger zone. But it looks like Star's listening to us, because since speaking about it, it's now 9.1 seconds the gap. And if you could just take over for 1 second, Lime, I've just got a nip away. I won't be a second.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, I have no change position. Double change position there. So, oh no. So Michael Louis has decided to come into the pits then. So he has had enough of his hard command tires, which are absolutely shocking. They are blistered. So Kenji Young now dropped back to 2 seconds behind Arrow. So he is now struggling on his hard command tires. Ollie JL now also on the back of him. Let's just check the penalties in a moment. So penalties, as it stands at the moment, I wouldn't worry if I was Kenji, because 3-second time penalty for Ollie behind, but also a 3-second time penalty for Arrow, so he just might actually be managing his tyres as he stands. Obviously going back up to the front with Himi, he's still 3.9. Oh no, that is a position there, but that's also Michael on Kevin Cowell, the 2 championship riders from last year's T2 season. Having a scrap there at the front.
And we're back, and we have jumped on board with Ollie, who is within DRS range of Kenzie Young. Ollie looking to take that position away from Kenzie. What did I miss?
Yeah, as I was saying, what I was saying when you were gone is, Kenzie's dropped back from Arrow, but not far enough away to still be hampered by the time penalty. So if I was Kenzie, I wouldn't really worry about being overtaken by Ollie. You know, you can get you can get 2 more positions by just staying with him.
100%.
Because they're both got time penalties, so I wouldn't really worry if I was in his position.
Yeah, let's have a look at the time penalties. Let's see what the situation is on that front. So, as we know, Star with the 10-second time penalty, Arrow with a 3, then Ollie with a 3, Mallard with a 3, Echo has a 9-second time penalty, and Andreas at the back, he also has a 3-second.
So also while you were gone, Michael Louis decided he had enough of his hard tyres and came in for a set of softs just to finish off this race.
I mean, it's a bold call. It is a long lap. Them softs could be pretty much useless by the time he's finished this race, but fastest lap, you know, go for some. He's going to gain a position against, obviously, well, he's already got Echo, so Echo not a worry now. It's going to be hard for him to catch F1 Mallard, though. 10 seconds and just 2 laps of racing to go.
I think you might be reading that wrong. You're reading the one above, so that's 10 seconds to Ollie.
Oh, he's got 2 seconds. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was. As the McLarens all over the place in the background, Echo nearly going into the wall. They're losing both end plates. We've got Kevin Cal trying to defend from Crimson and Woo Woo.
But that reminds me that TTV isn't pronounced Woo Woo. It's actually a really weird name to pronounce. It's pronounced Woomux.
Woomux.
Really weirdly.
All right, Woomux. There we go. I thought it was. I just said woo woo at the fucking start. Woo woo, and I do apologise, TTV Woo Max. But you just read it as you see it, don't you?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but I will get there with all the names. We will get there. So, on lap 28, and Chocolate Chip Cookie is on the back of Andreas. And he is going into the final lap of the race. And we'll go back and give him all the accolades and, you know, all the good words at the end. I tell you what, him he deserves, you know, a shout here. I don't think he's going to quite get the 10, you know, under that 10-second gap as we see Star just taking past that 10-second there. But he's had a really good race.
Really borderline at the moment. If he does get it, it'll be like a couple of thousandths of a second at the moment. But really good race, you know, from him saying he's struggling during qualifying to being P3 the whole race. You know, you gotta give it to him. That's a really good drive. And
it's going to be a hard one for driver of the day, really. I think there's 2 drivers that have mainly got, in my opinion. I mean, Chocolate and Star, we know that they're going to, you know, do well in the race. They've got very good race pace. But I think young Himi and Kenzie Young. I think they're the ones that are really looking for me for that driver of the day shout.
Yeah, I mean, I got such a star as well. Even though he's had that 10-second time penalty, he may not be winning the race, but as he said to me once before, when I won the first season opener here in Tier 2, it was still a masterclass in keeping a cool head, even though you've got a 10-second time penalty. Some people, when they get a time penalty, would be, pushing the car and just swinging it out.
But here comes Chocolate Chip Cookie. Oh shit, I've just pronounced his name wrong. Here comes Chocolate Chip Cookie across the line, sorry, Lime. And he wins the race at Miami. Star will get P2 in the end by just 0.3 of a second to Young Himi, who deserves an absolute round of applause and a pat on the back this evening. He tried to stay with them, but P3 in the end for Ferrari. Great result. But yeah, I completely fucking fluffed Cookie's name there then. I do apologise, Cookie. But yeah, now we're just going to see everybody coming into the pits. And we've got a battle on track. We've got Louise trying to keep F1 Mallard behind. I don't think Mallard is going to be able to get anywhere near close. And then it's Womax, Kevin Cal, and Echo.
Whoa! Sorry.
It's alright, mate.
I just off the line though, I just thought about Arrow might have DNF, but no, I just saw Arrow's car hit the wall and like spin and just wheel detached and everything. But no, he made it across the line in one finish. But the car is not in one piece anymore.
It could be close between the McLaren and the Red Bull, and it was very close between them two in that fight in the back there. In the end, between Kevin Cal and the McLaren driver, but the McLaren driver comes out on top. Kevin just didn't have the pace to get alongside and really go for the move. Yeah, Kenzie Young, what a drive. Yeah, definitely agree there with that one. But there we have it. So your race winner, Chocolate Chip Cookie, fastest lap Cookie as well. Driver of the day. I mean, I think if the game's picking it and we had him for a shout for it, I think we definitely go with Kenzie Young. Great drive and a very deserved driver of the day. Michael has got most overtakes as well as the cleanest driver here this evening. So congratulations on that one, Michael Louis, with the most overtakes and cleanest driver. So we will be jumping into interviews and let's see who joins. So I know who's actually in. So it's just me and Lime so far. So we could get a couple of the drivers in the end, but overall, absolutely great race. Just a shame it couldn't stay quite healthy battle-wise. I mean, we did see some, battling, but in the end, they really did spread out, didn't they? And it was just one of them you really had to kind of try and find them battles. But Chocolate Chip Cookie just had, I think he had enough of the battling, didn't he, at one point, and just thought, sod this, I'm off, I'm winning this.
Yeah, I mean, when you're when you're about to lead a race, that's the mentality you've got to have. You take the lead, you take it as it comes, and just control it and manage the pace and manage, whatever. Or you just sit behind and wait for something to happen. But no, I think he made the right call today, just waiting for that.
As we do have Star in the chat with us. Star, talk us through it, mate. Massive GG's, great result. But looks like Cookie just, I mean, I don't know whether it is true, but did Cookie just have the pace in the end?
Yep. I ain't going to argue with that. I mean, I'm just happy I got pole off him. To be honest, I knew I was finishing second today, so I made it a lot harder for myself, but we take those.
Yeah, we had your team principal of the esports teams in the chat chanting along for you. And she said some very, 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 very good things. Like, obviously, it's not always about winning, is it? As long as you get a good position and some good points, you can be happy with that. And one thing you're definitely happy about here is taking that qualifying. And I'll be honest, mate, I didn't think it was doable. It was a massive ego call by Cookie. And you've got to sometimes believe in that ego, haven't you? And think that, you know, maybe nobody can touch it, but you definitely prove that no one is. It's not over until the fat lady sings.
Yeah.
You got any questions for Starlime? I think Lime maybe have dipped out. Everybody's here now. Cookie, massive GG's the race winner. I mean, at one point it looks like you was having a bit of fun, and then you just thought, right, I'm going winning this, and did exactly that, mate. Massive GG's. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I had a 50% here last week in a different league, so I realized Miami's a pretty big tire track. So if you save really good, like the first 5 or 6 laps, you'll be set for the rest of the race. Like, it's an easy one stop. Yeah, so I pit on lap 12 on the hards. It's gonna take him to the end, but I had the margin to pit again to get fastest lap, so I did. And yeah, it's a pretty chill race after that. It was fun battling Star for the first 8-9 laps, however long it was. But yeah, just tire saving the whole race behind him. I think when you're sitting behind another car, you can really just drive like 50%, and as long as you stay in DRS, you're fine, and you save so much percent. Like, as soon as I passed him, I was wearing 2 or 3% more a lap.
Wow. So definitely a good thing you kind of was doing that swapping in them initial laps then, really. And then how did you, I mean, Star, what percent was you trying to go for an undercut, or was you forced to pit due to the tires in that first stint? As I think Star's gone.
He's still here, but he's just...
I can tell
yeah,
you.
so
I
it's
can. Tell
wrong
I
button.
was gonna say he did a medium hard medium. I was in a BC with him at the time.
So was it the fact that his mediums just dropped off where he couldn't keep up with Cookie, and or was it he was just genuinely going for an undercut?
I just couldn't keep up with Cookie, full stop, to be honest.
So you just went for it to just at that point you just thought I'm racing my own race kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair play, fair play.
For the first stint gave me false hope, I suppose. Cookie was just sitting behind and saving, I guess, but yeah. I don't know, I don't like this game.
Fair play. Brutal, but fair play.
I don't think any of us likes this game stuff.
All right, so he's got a consensus of agreement.
I mean, Star, I'm gonna say something because you said it to me a couple of weeks ago. Even though you were, you know, fighting your own race and whatever, you despite the penalty, you still kept a very cool head. And I'm gonna repeat the exact same words you said to me. That was still a masterclass in keeping a cool head. So like, well done.
Yeah,
that was
makes up
anyone
for my
else.
massive head loss last week.
If that was anyone else, they got a 10-second time penalty. Then had a threat from someone behind, they would have just fumbled it. So well done.
Speaking from experience, are we?
Maybe slightly.
Shots fired. Shots fired, people. But let's move on. We've got Himmy in the chat. Massive GG's, Himmy, picking up a P3. I mean, he didn't quite have the pace to, you know, obviously keep up with the top two here this evening, but nonetheless, you really did, you know, just stay in your own lane, really, didn't you? And just drive until the end.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the pace. I managed to stay within 2 seconds that entire first stint, but I ended up getting held up after I boxed and just lost that 10 seconds to Star.
I mean, we was rooting for you, bro, in the chat, in the comms, hoping that you could get it, you know, but Star just had that pace here this evening. But still, mate, really good drive. You was close to driver of the day here this evening for me and Lime personally, but I think Kenzie just nicked it with having the damage and starting from the back. Kenzie really did have a good drive. So Himmy, you know, great drive, mate. Honestly, P3, brilliant result here. And you know, congratulations. You just had to. Does it become lonely when, obviously, because you was in a bit of like no man's land until like kind of pit stop phases and stuff like that? Does it become like a very lonely race?
Well, sitting in the clean air most of the time, yeah. But at least you have something that you are trying to get to. Like that 10-second gap, that's all I was fighting to get into. But obviously went wide, couple corners, just lost all that time.
It was something to give you a bit of a push to try and keep you locked in until the end of that race. Yeah, right, no worries. But we'll move on to the commentator's driver of the day. I don't know whether he will be the overall driver of the day, but Kenzie Young, I mean, great result, mate. Great drive, especially after getting damage. I mean, just talk us through it, mate. How did you feel after that one?
Well, I was rushing to get home, as it was an hour drive to get back, and I was close on the clock. But on the way home, I saw a new racing seat on the side of the road and went, I want that. Brought it home, so I had to get that set up. So on a new rig, new seat, I can't get my brake pedal fully down at the moment, which I have to change. But then the power went out as soon as I joined, and I was like, that's great. So qualified P, I think 14.
Yeah.
With like a really slow 27. But I was like, just be cautious, lap 1. I was trying to be as cautious as possible, but I think a V-Cup spun in front of me and gave me wing damage, which wasn't great for the plan. But I was going to do a 2-stop, but at that point I went, I have to 1-stop now. So I just switched to mediums, spent way too long on my own, just chasing the time ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually ended up getting up. Arrow and his pack caught me on my used mediums. So as soon as they got past, I went, it's time to box for hards and push again and try and make that gap. Which thankfully I did, and then once Arrow caught up again, last stint, he just couldn't drop me. The tyres were screaming, but they made it.
Massive GG's, mate. Congratulations on that result. And who else have we got in with us? So we've got Arrow, the big man himself. Arrow, how you feeling, brother, after that one?
Awful. That was one of the worst races we've had in quite a while.
Qualies definitely seem to struggle, mate.
Quali, I don't know what happened. The first sector I just couldn't do. I don't know. I done some practice earlier in the week and the track felt fine, and then I went on yesterday and I just couldn't drive at all. Don't know what it was, and I just never got to grips with it. But I'm pretty sure my TT was like a 26.2, and then I was 0.6 off my TT in the one quali lap I did do. The one quali lap I did do, I was fucking a good 10 meters off the circuit at a point, but at least I got something. And then the race itself was going all right, and then I got damaged from running in the rear of someone who was like sideways, which happened twice. The first time I didn't get damaged, but the second time I did get damaged. And then it was just, I need to undercut the people ahead of me, and it almost worked. But it was weird because I finally did get ahead of Ollie and Kenzie Young, but then once I was ahead, it felt like I was driving in dirty air. It honestly feels like whenever you're the car behind you don't have dirty air, when you're the car ahead you do have dirty air. It's really weird. It feels like the game works as opposite as it should.
Nice. I mean, I don't race anymore, so I will probably be racing once again soon. But I mean, it sounds really weird. But I mean, all these updates that they do with the game and stuff like that, it just every time they kind of fix one thing, they break another. And I mean, it could be the case. I mean, with the dirty air where they've kind of flipped it. But yeah, it just seemed a bit of yeah, weird how you couldn't kind of pull away even with them fresher tires. Like Kenzie was saying, he was on older tires and he was still, staying with you.
I think Cookie mentioned whenever he was in the DRS Star that he was able to manage his tires a whole lot better, which doesn't make any sense. Like, the game should not work that way. But Cookie was saying whenever he was in the clear, then his tires started to wear like 2 or 3% more. And I honestly think, like, once you're in the clear air, then your tires, for whatever reason, overheat more. There was a point where I had pulled like 2.4 to Kenzie Young, and then the tires just like gave up through the first sector.
Yeah.
So it gave me no chance to actually escape. I honestly thought if I had finished ahead of Kenzie Young, I could have got my 3-second move, because I feel like I got a double warning in one of the the instance, but then he got me in the last lap, and then I tried to get him out of the penultimate corner, and then the grip just was dead, so I had nothing left.
Oh, unlucky, mate, but still, very good race from you, good battling, and even if you're in like a lower placing position, as long as you have some good battles, some good overtakes, it really does, you know, make that evening better. It doesn't matter where you finish, as long as you have a good scrap. I think that's what we're all here for, in it, really, and have them, you know, good fights. You can have fights at the front, you can have fights at the back. I think that just makes the race better. But we got Stellan in the chat as well. I mean, Stellan didn't really go. I think he probably called Ian, but didn't have a really good start to the race.
It wasn't planned to spin. I'll tell you that much. It was not planned to spin.
I got a great angle of
I
it.
personally think the tire wear this game is just it's so much more different to last game, especially on the mediums. It feels so odd to me at the moment still. I think the game's been out for what, 2-3 months now, and I'm still not used to it. Feels so weird. And then
It does feel weird.
the hards, you've got to try and get the temperature into them, don't you? So I just had a spin with the lack of temperature in the hards.
Yeah, it feels really weird, especially what everyone else is saying. I can agree.
Yeah, I was just as soon as I spun on them hards, I'm like, yep, calling it a day. See you later.
Unlucky, brother, unlucky. But we got Oven Chips as well.
Yeah.
Oven Chips, how's it going, mate?
Not too bad.
How was the race, mate?
Kind of had a horrible qualifying. I had the pace, but my last lap I spun and took off my front wing and didn't have enough time to go around and fix it. And off the start, I had a golden opportunity. I don't know why I didn't go for it. Everyone ghosted for me, but I kept it clean. When I'm not going to be cheeky.
Oh.
And
It seems to be a thing that, sorry, Oven, in a
No, keep
lot of
going,
league races that I've covered recently, seems to be that a lot of cars are ghosting into. I mean, I even questioned Lime at the beginning of it, like, do they have, like, you know, ghosting on into turn one? Because, I mean, some people do that, but I've noticed with a lot of the league races recently, I think it's something that they've broke in the game where there is certain drivers that are up at the front that will ghost into turn one. It's real madness. But yeah, you probably should have took that opportunity and been cheeky. But I mean, you did it. You settled in. You stayed. You know, composed, and you look like you had a really good race, to be honest.
yeah, it's my best race so far because Bahrain finished 17th, and Japan I was a bit annoyed because I qualified 4th, and I was comfortable, but I dropped down to like 6th in the end. So 5th's not too bad. My best finish.
Yeah, really good result, mate, and long may it continue. But yeah, it's been a great race here. Once again, we have Fun F1, Cookie and Star, the stars of the evening, really. Really good lap times, and we had a lot of battling going on at the back as well with the other drivers. They seemed to, I mean, it did look like a really fun race for a lot of them. But we are over, and the king of Miami is Cookie. So we'll move on to next week. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here this evening. Thank you for all the drivers coming in, doing the interviews at the end. Great to see. It's something that I really love doing. You really do learn a lot about the races and how they felt when you have these interviews. So thanks, guys, for jumping in. Thank you to everybody that watched as well and followed along. Thank you for the new followers. But until next week, people, that's going to be all from me and Lime. Hope you enjoyed the comms, Lime. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It was an absolute pleasure, mate. Looks like Lime's not talking neither. So I'll end it there, people. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care, and we'll see you soon here on We Have Fun F1.